When it comes to the fitness test of choice for so many AFL clubs, the 2K time trial, it's a complete waste of time. AFL requires some of the most versatile styles of running out of any sport on the planet. You need speed, you need agility, you need speed and agility at once. You need aerobic fitness, you need reaction time, you need repeat sprint ability. And yet, for some reason, community clubs of all levels, of all ages, think if we can just focus on getting everyone to improve their 2K time trial this preseason, that's a really good place to monitor whether or not we're going to have a good and fit team when it comes to round one. Having a good 2K time trial time's like having a really big... It's real nice to tell people about, but there's no guarantee that that correlates to a better performance. For example, when I moved to the Box Hill Hawks in 2014 from a pretty good career as a middle distance runner, the first 2K time trial are in 5 minutes and 19 seconds. The coaches were mind blown, the players were mind blown. Honestly, between me and you, I was really impressed as well. But the problem came when we started to get into practice matches. I started to notice that these big fat blokes who were 10 or 15 kilos overweight would start running me down in like the second or third quarter. And I was like, hang on a second, I'm the fittest bloke on the field. Why is it that these blokes are running me down with apparent ease? And that is when I came to realize, just because your ability to run at a high speed for a fairly long amount of time is good, it doesn't mean that your ability to repeat sprint continuously throughout the course of a game of footy is going to be high. And that was exactly where I found myself. Too often we take this blanket approach to running fitness for football and we go, okay, well, maybe a 2K time trial is a good way to measure the improvement in that fitness. And the truth is, it's good. It's one way to measure an improvement in fitness, but it's only one way. What I encourage so many of the players that I work with now is, okay, hey, let's do the 2K time trial. Let's have a focus on your ability to maintain top end speed for as long as possible. But let's also do that in conjunction with a number of other tests that include your speed and agility, your top end speed, your reaction time, your repeat sprint ability, and so many more factors when it comes to cultivating this higher level of running performance when the footy season actually get started. Now, with that said as a foundation, there's three things I want to say that I think we often overlook when it comes to how much we magnify the importance of this 2K time trial. The first thing is this. If it was that important, we'd be monitoring the 2K time trial over the course of the entire season. But we don't. For most of us, and tell me if I'm wrong in the comments below, we'll do a 2K time trial in November, and then we might see the improvement in our fitness over that time trial in January or February. That's all good and well, but that's still 9 months before the time you want to be at peak fitness coming into finals. If it was really that important, why wouldn't we focus on maintaining this 2K time trial over the course of a season? And the answer to that question is because we understand there's so many other variables that come in, particularly as we're balancing games and recoveries and club trainings and our own strength conditioning and fitness requirements. The second thing I want to share with you, which I touched on briefly before, we want to use the 2K time trial if we decide to do it in conjunction with a number of other fitness tests and fitness routines. For us inside the AFL Running Academy, that means that each week we have a speed and agility session. We try and touch that top end speed with a change of direction because it actually mimics the style of running that you're going to be required to do. We also focus, depending on the time of the year, in your ability to develop that repeat sprint ability. We all know that bloke in our club who can sprint fast once, but you ask him to do it 2 or 3 times, doesn't look as impressive. If you want to stand out on game day, your ability to sprint near your top end speed over the entire game of footy is going to be one thing that helps you stand out on game day. If you don't have any idea where to start with any of that, how do we plan it? When do we do it? Why do we do it? Where do we do it? Jump on board the 7-day free trial for the AFL Running Academy. I've linked the link to that for you in the description to this video. The third thing I want to ask you is, what are you actually doing throughout the course of a season to maintain your pre-season fitness? It's all good and well to put in 3, 4, 5 months work only to get to the start of the season and just forget about it. That's what most community level clubs do. But the truth is, if you want to stand out later in the season and going into finals, you can't just ignore the fitness that you've cultivated throughout the preseason. You have to focus on structuring and scheduling all of these elements in some capacity throughout the course of your main season. If you really want to stand out on game day, it's inevitable that you look into this for yourself. Look, if I had to boil everything that I've just said in this video down to a little sentence, it'd be something like this. I'm not saying the 2K time trial is really a complete waste of time. I'm just saying, if you're using it as a blanket measurement for how well each player is going to play coming into the season, you're using it wrong. You've got to work backwards from what is required from you on game day and schedule either your own or your club's training around the personal interests of each and every player and what they're required to do for your side. As I said, if you want more help coming up with a really structured plan for you, your fitness level, and your position, make sure you take that 7-day free trial in the description to this video. If you want a little bit more information, I highly recommend you check out this video right here.